Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian,
What's going on, everybody?
joined by Waleed
What's up, boys?
and Brett.
What's up?
We made it, boys. We are here for the Love is Blind season 3 finale and also the reunion special that aired immediately following the season 3 finale. All four of us just literally finished watching this. So we're going to give you our raw reactions to just what happened. Is love blind? Is love blindsided? We're going to decide here. I thought overall great season. Awesome finale with some really awesome turn of events, and we're going to get right to it. Going to lead off with where we left off with the cliffhanger last week. Nancy and Bartise. Man, I have not been a Bartise guy this season. We all have been very pro Nancy. This is a very pro Nancy show. I know that here we all think she's got it together, beautiful, like just a good package. And this douchebag said no. This douchebag said no. And for once, finally on this show, we got to see a family actually react how anybody else's real life family would react during this, right, guys? They're pissed, they're yelling, they're calling him a chump. The brother wants to fight him, the mother won't even let him talk to Nancy. Like the whole thing is going off the rails. I loved it. I thought totally fine with me. Bri, I'll start with you, and then guys, I want to get your reaction to Nancy and Bartise.
Yeah, I was wrong about this. I thought he was going to say yes, and I'm fine with it. I actually like that. I don't like him, but I like that he's like, yeah, I just don't think this is going to work. Like he
Mm-hmm.
was, this is like things that normal people would think about on the show. Like if you're a normal person was on it, like I was weighing the options and it just doesn't make sense. So I appreciate that, and it saves both of them because I think for the better. You don't want people to go through shit. So I think in the long run, this is the right move.
Wally, what do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, I don't think he's like, the best choice for her, even though she like fell in love with him. She wanted him so bad to choose her. He just was being realistic in a lot of ways. And also one thing I do appreciate about him is even though he's made mistakes throughout the season, he owns his mistakes and he owns the
I'll
choice.
give him that.
He
No, I'll
owns
definitely give him that.
he owns the choices he makes. He's not going to cower away from his family. He was literally standing up to them like, "Hey, just like let's get away from this." He's
Yeah,
like,
no,
like,
but the part I don't like, I agree with you on all those things. Like I said, I may not like the guy. Definitely, was straightforward. However, it does sound like the one thing she asked was like, if you're not, I don't buy the I made the decision at the altar BS that any of these guys say. Any of the people
and
that
the
said
girls
no.
too. I don't buy that either.
So don't make her get in the damn dress. And she just literally said, and I'm sure she knew, she's like, I just don't want to put my family through this. So like, just respect me enough to just not do that. So that part was tough. Brett, what did you think?
Wasn't that the rule? Didn't they have to go to the altar and say no? Because I said that last time.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Brett here.
There probably is, but
it's a show. I mean, it's a show. They have to get there.
Yeah.
There's probably it's like a performance bonus for a sports team. Like you have to get to the altar to get to the final quarter of your pay, right?
Yeah, I mean, so I guess that cliffhanger. So when I watched that, I really thought that he was going to say yes, also. So when he didn't, my jaw just like dropped. and then his Nancy's brother, I thought he was hilarious. Like he was letting his little inner cholo come out, like they were going to scrap. And I was here for it. Like I love fights on TV. I know that's not very 2022 anymore, but I wanted something to happen. Like her brother looked a little small, so I don't know how that would have went for him, but it would have been entertaining.
Well, he wasn't gonna do anything. He was
doing that because they had 50 of them behind him, right?
Well, he's your brother. Of course, he's gonna be defensive and everything. But then, at least Bartise was just like, "Hey, all of you, this isn't your life; it's mine. I get to make."
Yeah, and Nancy,
if they got in a fight, they'd both have to pull their earrings out before they slapped.
Overall, good on that one. I thought they both handled it well in the reunion. Like I said, I think they're both adults. I think they're the most out of like the whole thing, even though it didn't work. They were both very mature about it. Nancy didn't come off as like a scorned lover or anything like that. She's just like, it kind of sucked, right? Like
she handled herself with grace, which I appreciate.
She was like, it just kind of sucked, right? I wish I didn't stand on the altar, but is what it is, right? Like
I feel like
I signed up for a show.
Nancy and like maybe some of the other girls, like once the girls hit the age 30, it's almost like the pressure's on,
Of course.
So like, I feel like she had more incentive to make it work, whereas Bartise was like, man, I'm gonna have so many options after this. Like he was with the blonde girl.
I hate him.
Any little thing, he's gonna come out. And I was saying once we saw him in the reunion, he had his little poof ball on. and he had like the extra earrings. I was like, man, this tool bag, this fuck boy, he's evolving from his Charmander self, and now he looks like Charmeleon from Pokemon. If anyone knows who that is, the little thing on his
horn.
Yeah.
He's got his little Love Is Blind horn. Let's go to the other, I think, kind of main point of emphasis during the finale and reunion. Cole and Zenib. I was really worried that she was going to say yes, but she's been pissed like all season. Like she has not been playing with him probably really from the jump since the pool incident. Zenib's speech at the altar. I'm going to say this. I agree that like, yeah, they shouldn't be together. Not a good match. She has a lot of valid complaints towards how he was when they were together. However, the only thing I will say, and then Bri, I want to go to you first. I do think she's blaming a little too much on him, right? Like he didn't cause all of her self-doubt issues, all of her other things she's got going on. And I'm not saying he said some real jerk off shit, like straight up. You don't rate your wife on a 10 scale to the other women. You don't flirt openly, like literally telling another man's fiance that like you're beautiful and I'm into you. But she was basically trying to blame him for all of her like issues, basically. And I thought that was a little too much. Like, Bri, what was your whole take on their whole finale?
Yeah, I agree with you there. Like, she definitely has to take some accountability because, I mean, there's two people in the relationship. But I mean, I'm all about dunking on Cole. I just think he's an absolute loser, and just like he cries, man. Well, I don't like. He's like kind of like a baby about like just like nothing bad's ever happened to him. So I was just like, this dude can get lost.
Yeah,
I felt bad for him when he cried.
Nah, no, come on.
Oh no,
Brett.
I shed a couple tears too. I was like, because I feel like the thing with Cole is sometimes he says like really just stupid shit in an attempt to be funny, and I feel like I'm kind of in that same boat where sometimes I'll kind of put my foot in my mouth and get myself in a little bit of trouble. So I've never been in a position where I'm like belittling a woman like that, but I also haven't gone on too many dates. So
we think
I don't think I would, but just the funny, like the cutie story. So I was actually just watching the cutie story. I think I missed the punchline, but because I was rushing to join this, but to me it didn't seem bad. Like it seemed like
me neither.
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad.
That was overblown by
he came
her.
out looking good there, honestly.
Yeah, I was waiting to see once they showed it. I was like, oh, wait. And then once he didn't, I was like, that's it. He was not fat shaming her or anything like that.
Do we? This is my kind of question here. Like, what does Netflix get out of not showing that? Right? That's what I'm confused about.
I think it was irrelevant. That's why they didn't.
Yeah. Like, why would they? But I'm saying in general, like if all these horrible things he really said were said, like I feel like they would release that crap, right? Like that's juicy crap. Like I'm confused where they're trying to. Like where she's saying
honestly, it was a boring scene though. Like I watched it, and I was like, nothing happened.
Well, even not just that scene, Wally. I just mean in general. She insinuated that there was a lot more, and like, I mean, I really don't feel like we're in a time, right? Like we were kind of joking pre-show, but like, I don't really think they're gonna try to like protect a white dude, right? Like, I don't really feel like they give a crap about.
Well, it's become normal on reality.
I always think that.
It's become normalized on reality TV shows to shame men for a lot of the choices they make on them. Like you notice when she stepped away on she turned him down at the altar, everybody in the audience clapped. Like,
well, that was effed up. Like when the friend did that, and they called him. Nick Lachey even brought that up. He was like, "So was that on a stage?" And she's like, "No." And he was like, he was like staring at her. He's like,
guys, I didn't hate that.
No, I didn't hate it either. I didn't say I hated it. I just said that like,
sure, but like
they may have been tipped off. That
a little bit.
They weren't a good match, I don't think.
They weren't at all. No.
Speaking of, let's do this really quick. Matt and Colleen's an interesting one. I didn't think that she was going to say us. She looked scared on the stage the whole time. She looked like, I swear to God, she looked like she was like a captive. I'm sorry. Like she looked, they're not even living together.
Wait, are you talking like on the reunion stage?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a moment when I looked at her.
She looked scared.
Cry.
I didn't pick up on that.
They're still together, apparently. Congrats, though. I do want to give up. I like Brennan and Alexa. Didn't think I was going to like them. I really thought that it was a torture chamber for this dude. I'm going to be honest. I like their vibe.
I think it's going to work.
I like it. I don't. At first, I thought she was going to be unbearable. I'm sure she's not easy, but I don't know. Like it just seems like it seemed like a normal relationship to me.
I like Brennan. I feel like Brennan seems like the most likable person on the show. And so
I thought it was
kind of like, does Alexa
crying for him
well enough with him? And, You know, like, does he have a point where he would get turned off? Which I don't know if he does. So
Do you remember when she said like I don't think I was portrayed well in the show in the
yeah,
median? So I mean, again, it's like
she
the same
seemed
thing that comes
nicer
back
than
to
review,
Cole.
I guess.
Same thing that comes back to Cole. Like maybe he was portrayed better than he actually was, and maybe she was portrayed worse than she was. Like again, it's a TV show. They want you to like see certain, like they want to paint a picture, and so maybe we're seeing something they want to paint, and we're seeing through that.
Vanessa Lachey just sitting in a dark room together editing on Fillmore. Like,
Yeah, let's make him look bad. Let's put some bugs in his piss.
Oh God, Jesus! I'm gonna talk
All
about
I'm going to say is I don't know if they're going to work or not. All I'm saying is everyone should pray for Brennan that it does work because he was
gonna
the
be very
ultimate
broke.
yes man. He was the ultimate yes man throughout the entire show. Never. I don't think no is in his vocabulary. I really don't. But
We're gonna find
but he's
out.
but you could tell he's a really good dude. I'm really praying for him because if it doesn't work out, he loses everything.
Yeah,
So
I have faith.
better hope.
I have
But
faith.
everybody gets married, right?
That's all I'm saying.
So, for speaking from the married man, we get it. SK and Raven. Sorry, I almost ended the show, but again, that's mainly because they were boring. They actually decided to be normal people. They decided they would date and they don't have to be married, and he doesn't have to pay half of her rent, and he can go to school like a normal person. So I don't know. I was happy for them. I again don't know why he had to dump her at the altar though, but like you guys said, it's a TV show.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
she didn't take it that much to heart because supposedly they had sex like right after. So I mean, they're still dating.
Right.
Well, yeah, we say we like
I am
Bartiz. He did the
shocked.
same thing to the blonde chick like the next day.
Yeah, he went.
I think they're gonna work too.
I'm so surprised that Raven's into SK the way she is, and that they're actually dating, and that they did whatever after
Opposite the track, dude. I'm
Even
telling you, that's a perfect match. He's so normal and pleasant and just like very, and like they said on the show, he brings out her goofy side, and she's a very serious and worries about like how she comes off as the business and this and that, and like he just is very respectful and has values. And even though I thought his family was a little intense towards her and a little rude, you could tell that he has a good family and like he comes up with like a good like structure.
I thought his family was super nice towards her, and I thought she was super like nice to them, like
No, it
doing
was a
all
great
the
relationship. The mother was shocked. Remember, the mother was like,
yeah, I just think they take marriage seriously. So I think like when they were going through with it, yeah, I think they're gonna work. I'm saying
I
that.
think the whole thing
Personally,
Raven ended
personally,
up
I don't
being
think they will.
you don't think they
the
will?
work.
No, I think they're way too different. And yeah, I think it's just going to be way too hard on both of them and too strenuous in the long run. So I don't see it working.
So
out.
we have a definite. We're probably all thinking Brennan and Alexa definitely.
Well, not Waleed.
I'm praying.
Yeah, and then we have the middle of the road like Matt and Colleen. I don't even know. That one's tough too. Don't even live together.
I
Yet.
think everyone will stay together for at least 12 months after
until the show, until the
reunion.
comeback show.
Actually, Matt and Colleen's the only one I think can work. I think it will work.
That's Stockholm syndrome.
Because she's literally afraid of him.
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, I don't see
He's
why
like,
they
yes, first,
wouldn't
though.
work. The only reason I think they wouldn't work is if Matt gets jealous and if she is promiscuous, which I really just don't think is going to happen. Like, I don't think she's going to go do something anytime
As long
soon.
as she understands, like now that you're a married woman, like there are
I
certain.
don't think she was the problem. He was a drunk, paranoid nut. We're not going to let this go this way. That dude's the problem. He is the angry eyes. He's a drunk. He is traumatized from getting cheated on before. And that girl looks scared. Colleen, if you're watching and you're scared, you can call us. We have TikTok. We could DM us.
As long as she doesn't cheat on him, he's good, though.
Oh,
Yeah, well, no,
stop
she
it.
gave
We all stop it. That's it. That's it. Love is blindsided. I'm blindsided for not doing this. For myself, Brian, Waleed, Brett, thank you. Peace. Love you all. Comment. Let us know if we're crazy or not.